What we've done today is to put together a group of what I call solution providers. You'll hear also that they're solution thinkers, but we thought we would get an industry view, if you like, on what makes a city smart, and a new term which was emerged at today's meeting, big city sickness. In other words, cities growing too fast, too quickly, and able to keep pace with the growth of urbanization.
A smart city has actually three areas for attention. One is that, of course, it needs to be resource efficient. Secondly, it has to have identity and image. And the third point is it has to be safe and secure. So the smartness is, if you will, a feature, but then the expression is in livability. So how well do you feel in that city?
In the cities, 70%, or depending upon the city, but in an average city, 70% of the energy is consumed in buildings, and the other 20% is roughly is traffic, and then 10% is industrial use.
About 20% of global electricity consumption is in lighting. About a quarter is residential, so where we are phasing out globally incandescent light bulbs. But then about 60% of electricity consumption for lighting is non-residential buildings, so public offices, as well as our own corporate buildings, and 15% is in street lighting. If you then look at a municipal board at a city, then often half of the energy bill of a city is in lighting because of public offices, schools, and street lighting. Because in order to further build smarter and more livable cities, you want to spend part of your budget on healthcare and education, the interconnected nature of cities, so improving, building on the existing infrastructure. So there we see a lot of opportunity for energy efficiency.
If you look at electricity demand today and what it could become if we don't do anything, it will probably double in the next 20 years. And if you add to that 77% of electricity on this planet is generated out of burning oil, coal or gas, this is really an issue. So among the smart pieces of the smart cities, really having a smarter grid and a smarter demand, smart buildings, smart street lighting, smart grid operation is really an imperative necessity.
And the first city where we implemented this is the city of Prague in the Czech Republic, and it's also fully financed. So the city of Prague, they didn't have a big budget for that, but then we said, okay, you can save so much energy. So it's a performance-based contract. So over the energy saving, they pay back in a period of time. And there we have developed a system that's called School Vision. Also with intelligence, just with a remote control, you have 4 settings in terms of intensity and the type of white, depending on what children are doing. So when they're really active, then it's more bluish white. When they need to be calmed down, it's a little bit more yellowish. And then the school saves 50% of energy. And the school where we tested this in Hamburg in Germany, they also saw that the reading speed went up by 40%. And the spelling mistakes went down by 30%, and children were less restless. So what I'm saying, this is also an area to reduce the environmental impact and energy consumption, but at the same time, to prepare the next generation for the challenges of tomorrow, because it will be in their minds that there's no trade-off. You can be smart, economically, ecologically, at the same time. So they will then probably be looking at public buildings and other areas to do similar things.
So we are in the step in going into future internet, as we describe it. And future internet has, from my point of view, 3 elements. Internet of Things, which basically the environment will be smart and will allow us to collect all that information, the data. Internet of Services, which basically use the data available and provide services to the people. In Internet of Knowledge, making more knowledge out of all that information we collected. So I think the technology is ready now, and now we have to roll it out and to implement it.
Yeah, you can divide society, I think, in 3 groups. So a small group, 10-20% is our eco-innovators, probably many of us. We move because we know it has to be done, next to the benefits. There's a group at the other side of the spectrum, 10-20%, they're eco-laggards. They will not move, maybe only in the very end. But there's a large group in the middle. 60-70% of people are eco-conscious, but they don't know yet what this means for them. So what is a smart city? What is this about sustainable development? And I think the resource efficient nature to do things is the feature, but the benefit is actually what really matters for them. So that when they start talking about it, we create more momentum. And through their voting and buying behavior, that we make it really a movement for change and for the future.
I would like to finish with the definition of sustainable. On one hand, sustainable is environmental friendly, but on the other hand is basically people have to have a social sustainability, people have to feel comfortable, and obviously people have to be able to afford it. That means there's a financial aspect as well of sustainability. And I think we should look for sustainable solutions where people feel comfortable, where people, the city can afford it, and we protect our environment.
A smart city project is always a very complex project. So it takes a coalition to work together with a strong leadership of the mayor or the government of the city. So, and today you see in many places in the world, the attention of the governments distracted by crises or other problems. But the most clever of them are keep the smart city agenda active, because they know that for the future that's the best thing they can do.